His service is in her DNA. She had initiated and completed a project through Rotary Club of Mumbai Elite by donating 150 mobile phones for visually challenged children. Another project is plantation of 500 saplings. She does a very commendable job when it comes to community service. Please welcome Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Kusumara.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms. I now see I've become so nervous I've even forgotten what to tell. So I am now open the meeting. I call the meeting to order. So welcome, a warm welcome to all our respected guests, the Toastmasters. Today, today is the fifth meeting of the Event Elites, and International Labour Day is just around the corner. We remember the political slogan, Workers of the World Unite, one of the rallying cries from the Communist Manifesto in 1848 by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, who said this in German, proletarians of all countries unite. But soon it was popularized as Workers of the World Unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. And thus was born 1st May as International Labour Day. We have come a long way, and definitely exploitation of the workers have reduced. But we have miles to go before we rest, especially in India, where labor is abundant and poverty is stark. At no times have you seen this at such close quarters as during the pandemic. Migrant workers, daily wage workers, breakdown of primary healthcare, and can we say no basic infrastructure at all? What? How can we call ourselves a democracy unless every citizen of India gets the basic care and comfort? What freedom are we talking about when a man is starving and is helplessly watching his family starve? We cannot ignore and close our eyes to the injustices perpetrated on the weaker sections of our society. Friends, it's time to unite and bring justice to all. It's time to set our goals and work towards the goal within a set time frame. Set small goals. Over the time, the bigger goal will be achieved. Allow me to share these lines of Kofi Annan, 7th Secretary General of the United Nations. Extreme poverty anywhere is a threat everywhere. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. Thank you, friends. And over to you, Sergeant at Arms Xavier.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah. So, shall I now introduce the Toastmaster for the evening?
Yes.
The Toastmaster of the day is Girish Mittal. It is my privilege to introduce a multi-talented Toastmaster of the day, Girish Mittal. Dynamic, because in the very first round he managed to get our club into the spotlight in our area. He is an engineer by profession and runs a software company with a huge clientele spread all over the world. A Rotarian since 2003, he is also an active marathoner. Let's give him a warm welcome with a huge round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Kusuma, for those kind words. It's my pleasure to be the Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, all Toastmasters. As President mentioned, the theme of the day is setting goals. In this context, I am reminded of the words of Mark Twain. He said, without dreams and goals, there is no living, merely existing. And that is not why we are on this earth. Adding my bit to it, we want to better our lives. That is why we are Toastmasters, and many of us are Rotarians too. coming to the agenda of the day, the meeting is divided into three segments. First segment is the prepared speeches. Second segment is the table topics. And the third segment is about speech evaluation. And this will be conducted by our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair, who has also joined us. Welcome, Arvind. Now we start with the first. Now we start with the first segment, which is the prepared speeches. Today we have three. The evaluators will give timing guidelines and the evaluation criteria. A philosopher once said, half of good philosophy is good grammar. Toastmaster Mark will play the role of grammarian and he will explain his role. Toastmaster Mark, to tell you something about Toastmaster Mark, he becomes philosopher after 10 p.m. Mark, all yours now.
Thank you, Girish. Dear Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As the grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers and listen carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of misusage of the English language, if any, as well as the outstanding usage. As a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word for the day. For today's meeting, the word is aspiration. It's a noun. There are two meanings for that. One is a medical term, to breathe, which we are going to ignore. What we are going to concentrate on is aspiration, which means something you hope to achieve. Examples: I've never had any political aspirations. Second is, it's a story about the lives and aspirations of the poor migrants. Request all the speakers to use the word of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mark. Friends, do you know what is the number one fear in America? It is the public speaking. Death is number two. And when we are in a state of fear, we tend to use fillers. Toastmaster Dheeraj will explain his role as AHA counter.
Greetings, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of the AHA counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler sounds, including I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dheeraj. Timer helps speakers to stay within time limits. Toastmaster Xavier is playing a dual role today and is the timer today, and he will explain his role. Toastmaster Xavier.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening to you all again. My role as a timer entails me to track the timings of the entire meeting. In the speech segments, we have three icebreakers for which the timings are 4 to 6 minutes. The speaker should speak for a minimum of 4 minutes and not more than 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I will be showing green screen at 4 minutes, an amber at 5 minutes, and the red at 6 minutes. It will remain on till the speaker finishes his or her speech. If the speaker speaks above 6 minutes and 30 seconds, please note you will not be entitled to a vote. For the table topics and general evaluation, I shall give you the timings and guidelines at that time. At the end of the meeting, when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day, I shall present my timing report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Girish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Xavier. Now we commence our prepared speech section. Bill Clinton once said, people are more impressed by power of our example than the example of our power. Our three prepared speeches will impress us with their speeches, which will set examples for all of us to emulate. I request three speakers, and I believe all of them are presenting their project to pay attention now. First speaker, before I invite her, I will request Toastmaster Girja, who is the evaluator of the first speaker. Can you please describe the evaluation objectives and the timing guidelines?
The purpose of this assignment, the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. So the evaluator has these to take note of. During the completion of this project, the member receives feedback about his or her speech and work to apply the feedback to a second speech. So probably this will have to be done during the next presentation of the same speaker. During this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic and incorporate feedback from his or her previous speech evaluation that again applies to the next speech. So as far as this project is concerned, the speaker is supposed to receive feedback and apply the feedback to a second speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Girja. Toastmasters Anushri will present her level 2. I am sure we all have been inspired by Blade Runners. Anushri too is inspired by our by Blade Runners, and she will tell her inspiration, the Blade Runner who inspired me. Toastmaster Anushri, the Blade Runner who inspired you.
Thank you so much. I would be screen sharing before I start my presentation. Am I allowed to screen share?
Anushri,
Yeah,
I am showing a screen for you for the timing cards. So you are presenting something?
Yes, I would.
Okay, fine. So your entire screen presentation is on the presentation, or your speech is on presentation, or how's it?
No, just for you can say when I start. Later,
Okay.
I would be removing it.
Okay, when you go off screen, then I will present. Okay, great.
Yeah, Xavier, when she stops her screen sharing, you can start your screen sharing.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests for the day. Recently, I read a book on the war heroes of our country. This particular chapter was about a quintessential army officer, physically fit, dignified, and well-mannered, who has even modeled for the Adidas High Impact advertisement for the odds. He is retired Major Devendra Pal Singh. When he shops for shoes, he shops only for one leg. As this is because the other leg is fitted with a steel blade. He says battles and bravery don't end with a war, and legs aren't always made of muscles and bones. At the age of 24, he joined the army. During the Kargil War, he was posted at the line of control. For 48 hours, when there was no firing, he had an intuition that told him, that there is a calm before the storm. Suddenly, within a few seconds, there was a bomb blast. He lay dying on the battlefield. His teammates, without a thought of their own lives, came to save him. From the battlefield to the hospital was a 2.5-hour drive. The doctor was shocked to see him. The bomb blast was so terrifying that the flesh of his right leg had come off. He had been declared dead. The anesthetist was with the presence of mind, declared that he is alive. He battled for his life for 3 days in the ICU. His leg had to be amputated because the poison would otherwise be, in the body. From being shifted to the Udhampur hospital, from there to Delhi, and from there to the prosthetic limb center in Pune, it became a long battle. When he, by the within this journey, he had his weight was 28 kgs. But from there, this was a real road to recovery. Here, he met the war veterans and Kargil amputees. It is here that all of them cracked jokes, sang songs, exchanged stories, and even visit the clubs to dance on one leg. All of them were aware of what it is to be with one leg. And they wore their injuries like the medals and cracked jokes about their disabilities. He was transferred to the Ordnance Corps to do a desk job, which he found extremely boring. After serving the army for 10 years, he decided to leave it. But the quest for adventure refused to leave him. After 2 years of retirement, he ran the first marathon on his prosthetic leg. For the 2009 half marathon, he ran and hopped with his bleeding lacerated stump. However, the pain was excruciating. But this was his turning point. He had never been happier and realized this was his life goal. The major then put forth a request to the Indian Army. He wanted to run with less pain and more speed. He wanted a blade which could help him. Thankfully, the retired major's wish was fulfilled. A 3.5 kg blade was imported by the artificial limb center. The blade was made with pure metal, which did not have any muscle or cartilage to cushion the impact of running. The first time he ran, the first time he ran after the implant, his knee was soaked in blood. Each time he jumped or landed on the blade, the force was 2.5 times more of his body weight. But did this stop him from running the marathon? No. It took him 2 hours 40 minutes to finish his half marathon in the year 2011. His legs were so swollen that he couldn't remove the blades for a few days. Thus, India gets his first blade runner. Not contented with his personal success, he has formed a group called the Challenging Ones for the amputees. It has 1,800 members, and approx 1,100 have participated in various sports and adventure activities. Apart from being a marathon runner, he is also a skydiver. He has been the ambassador for the Year of Disabled of the Indian Army. He has taught me which I will try to implement. They are: the sky is the limit. Hence, there will be no possibilities. There will be difficulties. There will be extreme lows, but there will also be a way. Life is an adventure which has many curves, but I must enjoy the ride and grab every opportunity that I get. Thank you, all the Toastmasters, for listening to the speech. Here I have talked about my inspiration. Thank you so much. Over to
Thank
you,
you.
Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anushri, for that brilliant speech. I also had the pleasure of running in one of the marathons with Major Devendra. I think I have a photo also. Let me look at my archives and I will share that photo.
Sure.
We had a Devendra, Major Devendra is Oscar Pistorius of India. Coming to the next speech, the evaluator for the next speaker is Toastmaster Shripal. I request you to explain the speech objectives and timing guidelines. Toastmaster Shripal.
Sorry, Girish, I didn't get your message.
I think you are required to explain the evaluation criteria.
This is also the same project, I think. So evaluation criteria will be the same.
Evaluation criteria
Will be the same.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So our next presenter is Toastmaster Gaurang. We have all heard story of Valmiki who became saint from bandit. We will hear a similar story from Toastmaster Gaurang, from sinners to saint. Toastmaster Gaurang, from sinners to saint.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Are we all sinners or are we all saints? This is not a question that we should answer lightly, but I will help you a little bit by putting forward a series of experiments, and very interesting ones, which may guide us and maybe break some myths about ourselves. Quick flashback to 1930s. There was this gentleman who was a psychologist called John LaPierre from Stanford. He engaged and enrolled a couple of Chinese couples, young friendly people, and take them across the USA. Now remember, these were times when there were a lot of prejudice, bigotry, and racism. They traveled 10,000 miles together on a road trip, and they stayed, in hold your breath, 66 hotels and dined at 164 restaurants, right from low end to luxury. After this, the entire experience was superb. They had obviously paid in cash throughout the entire journey, and the hoteliers were very happy with them, and they got excellent service. Part two of the experiment was something unique. After 6 months, he called all these establishments and, under the garb of a questionnaire, put one innocent question: will you accept Chinese people in your restaurant? And that time there was a lot of anti-China sentiment and misconceptions. Guess how many of these establishments said no to Chinese? 90%. Only 10 said they were unsure. And they had all hosted a Chinese couple just 6 months ago. What he was trying to bring out is that what we think, what we believe, does not necessarily translate into how we act. There was another interesting follow-up experiment by one of his colleagues, which says we all talk about security, but actually none of us believe in it. So all those who bought briefcases or safes from the factory never bothered to change the factory settings. And the ones who did put in their own passwords or passcodes, which are those numerals in the olden days, use very simple ones like date of birth or something like that. Again, big problem between what you think, what you do. Third study, which happened a couple of decades later in the 2000s, where a whole series of experiments were run, quote unquote, on altruistic and nice people. What was it? To check how they behaved in public. And they found 85% plus stole teaspoons, little bit of crockery, some linen, or towels from hotels. Or they never gave back change if they received extra from any shopping malls or arcades. Again, big gap. So this tells us that we are not fully aware of what we are doing. So when we talk about sinners or saints, it is not to put us on the mat, and myself included. It's just that we need to be conscious of what we do. Now you may well say, this is all nice, but is there the proof of the pudding? Is this real? Does this happen? Come back to just a few years ago, another mind-blowing research. A survey was done across thousands of people in America. It was followed in Europe, and they were given 4 names and asked to rank them. Who deserves the most to go into heaven after death? First name was Bill Clinton. Second was Lady Diana. Third was Mother Teresa. And fourth had to be your own name. Guess who came first? 87% people said, I am first. I'm better than Mother Teresa, Lady Diana, and Bill Clinton put together. And Why? Because I steal teaspoons. I don't believe in security. I'm prejudiced. But when I get money, I forget my prejudice. Getting how these whole experiments link up? Now, this is how we behave in real life. Now, is there some solution to it? Of course, there's a solution. This solution appeared just 2 or 3 years ago on another lovely experiment in a town in America where people were very bad drivers. So it was a rich community with fancy sports cars. And people used to spin past it very fast and go crazy. Someone came and put up a huge board over there: drive safe, do not drive fast. And people hated it. They started driving more rashly. Then this group of psychologists who were trainees removed that board and put a tiny placard somewhere outside a house: please drive safely, we have small children in our house. And because they were neighbors, all of them started driving safely and slowly. Then they realized the importance, and soon, over 1 month, they found all the houses in that whole county had a small placard outside every house: drive safe, do not drive rashly. So the message was that anything which is large and big is daunting for people. Make small changes, make them gradual. Enroll people for tiny, tiny things which they think they can accomplish, which are not a challenge. Once you do that, the big things happen automatically, like it happened in this case. That is how you try to help others. How do you help yourselves? You need to have the aspiration to first understand yourself that yes, you are a slight bit of a sinner, and then take the journey towards making that change. How do you do it? Again, small baby steps. Start setting goals. I will not lie today. I will not lie to my boss because I logged in late for work, because we all work from home, at least most of us do. I will not cover anything. I will not hide something from my family, and it will start adding up to the really big things. And therefore, we can transverse this journey very easily from being sinners to saints. Thank you so much for your attention.
Girishji, you are on mute.
Okay. Thank you, Gaurang, for telling me today that I am also a sinner. I used to think that I am a saint, but now I realize that I'm a sinner too. Our next speech evaluator is Toastmaster Amit. Girja is the
One small change. Yeah. And my evaluator Amit has logged off because he's got a lot of connectivity issues. So Girija will be doing my evaluation.
Okay. So I believe the evaluation criteria is the same, Girja?
It's the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is the same.
It is the same.
Same,
So
yes.
we move straight to the speech.
Yes.
Our third presenter is Toastmaster President Kusuma Rao. Friends, the need of the hour these days is oxygen, but some people may have different needs. Toastmaster Kusuma will tell her needs of the hour. Her need of the hour, Toastmaster Kusuma.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Girish. I'm Toastmaster Kusuma, and my topic is the need of the hour. Respected guests, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends. Remember your school days when a teacher would ask a question and the entire class would be quiet. In fact, she would call out the name of the student who was caught talking to answer the question. So this was a punishment for that child. Even if the student knew the answer, he wouldn't reply because the laughter and the mockery that follows a wrong answer was very humiliating. This habit continued into our teenage years and adulthood. We remain quiet in spite of knowing what is right and what is wrong. Your aspiration is directly influenced by your experiences. This will only give rise to followers and not leaders. Now, who is a leader and how do we decide who will be our leader? In the most simplistic terms, We can say leader is one who leads. In a more complex term, he is the one who takes over responsibility and ensures smooth running of an organization. We have different kinds of leaders: political, religious, student leaders, industry leaders, etc. Some take it up naturally, while others have it thrust on them. But most of the leaders are groomed. This grooming starts from school level. But is it really the right grooming they are getting? If it was, why are we facing this dearth of leadership today? Is there any value based system that we adopt to groom them and make them responsible leaders of tomorrow? Training children to take the risk of failure is the first step to grooming a dynamic leader. Allow them to stand up for their convictions instead of punishing them for talking out of turn. Allow them to talk and be brave enough to be laughed at, because we know he who laughs last laughs best. We don't need leaders who will be doing path breaking work, but we do need leaders who will take initiatives and are proactive. By proactive, we mean people who will step forward to take corrective measures. Leaders at grassroots levels who will fill the void of a central leadership. During the pandemic, we have seen many such leaders who stepped out of their comfort zone and worked hard to help in whatever way they could. These are leaders at heart and have worked from a sense of compassion without thinking of monetary gains. These are the true leaders in mind, spirit, and action. How many times have we felt anger against certain authorities for their insensitive and arrogant attitude, but they have kept quiet? Sometimes it is indifference, sometimes it is fear, and many a times it is reluctance to interfere. We convince ourselves with many excuses like these things keep happening, so why get worked up? Anyway, it's not happening to me, so why should I interfere? The reason is that the valuables have become more important than your values. Hence, this deterioration of society at large. We can see the lacuna of leadership everywhere. Leadership is solving problems, but dynamic leadership is to have a vision by setting goals and taking initiatives to achieve the same. Think about the recent debate about American response to India's vaccine issue. Many said it was because of the power of social media, but today we understand the strong and quiet leadership of the dynamic duo, Ajit Duval and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, who have been instrumental in forcing US to change. A dynamic leader is one who communicates and motivates through words, actions, and deeds. Good communication is a two-way system of talking and listening. Amitabh Bachchan, our iconic speaker, who mesmerizes us with his magical voice. This is a natural God given gift. But like I said, very few leaders are born, most of them are groomed. Why have we joined Toastmasters? To develop our speaking skills and enhance our leadership quality. The art of listening is as important as the art of speaking. It's about finding out what the speaker is thinking about. Listening helps us to understand each other better. It also shows respect to the speaker. Art of listening is not to keep quiet and wait for the speaker to stop and you continue. Or worse still, cut into the conversation and irritate the speaker. In conclusion, let me define a dynamic leader as one who has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kusuma, for that excellent speech. May I now request our timer Xavier to share the timing for all the speakers.
Just a minute, I'm just sharing. I have just displayed the timing on the chat screen, and this is the timing. Sorry, Gaurang is 5 minutes 5 seconds. Right? Gaurang is 5 minutes 5 seconds. 5 minutes 51 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
there is an
qualified.
error. It's 5 minutes 51 seconds. So everybody is qualified and everybody is within a time limit. This is my reports.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Now we begin our next and very interesting section, which is the table topics. Friends, Brooks Gordon said the very best impromptu speeches are the ones which are written well in advance. But we Toastmasters do not have that luxury. The impromptu speeches have to be really impromptu. May I now invite Table Topics Master Pooja to take over to conduct this session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Girish. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role as the Table Topic Master is to facilitate the table topics. Table topics is one of the most exciting portions of a Toastmaster meeting. The main objective in this round is to challenge members to develop their impromptu communication skills and to think on their feet. We also want to give every member the opportunity to speak so that in every meeting they get closer to their aspiration of public speaking. In this round, I'll be asking questions based on our theme for today, setting goals. I urge every speaker to use the word of the day, aspiration. I now request the timer to give the timing guidelines.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. In this session, you're allowed to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll be putting on the green screen. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll be putting on the amber screen. And at 2 minutes, I'll be putting on the red screen, which will remain on till the speaker finishes his or her speech. The speaker must speak for a minimum of 1 minute and not more than 2 minutes 30 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Xavier. Yes, so let's get started. Who wants to go first? All aspiring public speakers. Yes, we have Mr. Shripal Shah. Yes, Toastmaster Shripal Shah, can you take a number from 1 to 5?
1.
1, okay. So, Toastmaster Shripal, your topic is, what is your number one goal for this year?
Wow. Well, this year, in fact, right from 2020, the year has been really challenging. So I've set a few financial goals, and these are all personal goals and business-related goals. However, personal and business-related goal is definitely to grow, because I believe that these are the down times are the time when you actually set your platform. Because when the times start improving or changing, you can actually move forward. So there are certain personal and business goals which I've started setting. As far as the learning part is concerned, I have been into training for quite some time, though I'm not conducting any training programs, but I've decided that this Toastmaster is going to give me that platform and turn into a trainer once again. So that's my goal for the Toastmasters and learning platform. So that's about my goals for this year.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
Toastmaster Shripal, for sharing with us. Okay, who wants to go next? Okay, Toastmaster Rahul wants to go next. Yes, please select a number from 2, 3, 4, and 5.
5.
5, okay. So, Toastmaster Rahul, what would you say to someone who has failed at achieving a goal they set?
What would I say to the person who has failed?
At achieving a goal they had set.
I personally believe there's always tomorrow. Failing is just a step that you have taken towards your success, towards your achievement, towards your aspirations. So I don't see it as a fallback, but I think it is an achievement towards, or a walk towards your goal. So don't ever give up. I think it is a learning. I think the more you fail, the more you are walking closer towards your goals. towards your achievements or towards what you want to achieve. I think that's what I would love to end with.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul, for those golden words of wisdom. Yes, I also encourage the guests here to participate in the table topics. Yes, anybody who would like to go next? We have 3 more topics.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yes. Please choose a number from 3, 4, and 2. 2, 3, 4.
2.
2. Okay. So
Can I know
Priya?
her name? Pooja,
Yeah,
one
my
minute. Can I name?
Priya,
Yes.
Priya Rathore.
Priya.
Okay,
Priya Rathore. Yes. So Priya, your topic is, please tell us about a time in your life when an impossible goal became possible.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pooja, for giving this topic to me. First, like they always say, that impossible itself tells us all that I am possible. Now, the only thing is that how much of its quantum do people believe? Some people really don't believe that it is possible. I mean, any goal in life, they really do not have, I would say, the power or the ability to think of its possibility. Reason is because many a times people would like to, for achieving a particular goal, the pathway is such that they would like to see evidences of it coming true first. And there are some people who would persevere even if the evidences are not right, even if the evidences of it coming to you is not happening, they will still hold on. And that is what sometimes, when people do not give up, they might even get the impossible into their lives. So for me, I must say that it was such that I used to be a very, very shy person. I wouldn't be able to speak at all in public, never. So there was this time when I was in college, at work. In college also, I have not been able to speak really publicly. But when I was at work, and first day of work, induction, I wasn't even able to introduce myself. And after some time, I found myself, really crying because I've made this mockery out of myself. But I took up this challenge, and I really forced myself that, okay, Priya, you really have to do well. And I gave my first presentation there. And because I took it up as a challenge, I said public speaking is a challenge for me. I chose a profession to public speaking only. Today, I get paid to speak. I'm a training consultant here, and I'm really very happy choosing this profession. I think I would have to thank myself for it. This is my true calling, and it was impossible for me. Let me tell you, it was impossible. Today, I have made it possible for myself. Feel really nice about it. So nothing really is impossible. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Priya, for this wonderful speech. It's hard to believe that it was an impromptu speech. Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
so we have 2
I,
more speakers.
I'd
Yes.
like to go.
Okay, great. Yes, Ashok. We have number 3 and 4 left. Which one would you
Oh,
like to choose?
number 3.
Number 3. Okay. So can you tell us your greatest challenge that keeps you from achieving your goal?
Keeps me from achieving my goals. Okay. The latest challenge, it's not a latest challenge, it's been a challenge all my life. I've always aspired, and my full aspiration has been my father. He had achieved everything in his life without having an education, without having parents, and without having any money. He was and is an idol that I really look up on even right now. I aspire to be someone like him who inspires a lot of people with their lives, with their families, with their financial, troubles, everything. Because this guy had only given. He had never asked anything in return. He was only 3 when his parents passed away. And he came to Bombay and it was Bombay then, it is Mumbai now. And he came and made his life. And in the 70s, he had 150 to 200 workers working for him, which is, a great deal. And this is without any political background, without any backing from anybody. And this guy comes and makes it. His dreams I would like to fulfill. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope I do it this year, of opening a resort or something of that sort. a restaurant at least this year. Thank you.
Thank you for that sharing, Mr. Ashok. Yes.
Yeah. No,
now
no,
we
Mr.
have-
Only Ashok. Only Ashok.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ashok. Yes.
Mm.
So now the last speaker for the table topics round. Who wants to go? Trust me, this one is the most interesting question. I'm surprised it was saved for the last. So, yes, who wants to fulfill their aspirations of public
He
speaking?
was not taken up any role and anything. Probably, Rajesh can speak, or
Rajesh bhai, please take up.
Surekji, right? Role or assignment today, project today.
Please next time feel them.
Harin.
If there's no one, then I'll take the second one.
I can take it, but I had already taken it twice, so I thought maybe give somebody a chance.
Okay.
If
Anybody
nobody's,
who hasn't taken up, who wants to take up?
I think there was a gentleman who just said.
Dheeraj?
Dheeraj plays role, na? Our counter.
Okay.
He's yeah, exactly.
So if there's no one, I'll take the second one.
Who's speaking?
What about Priyesh?
Harin is willing to take. Let him take. Those who have not done any role can do it.
Girija, even I have done it twice. That's why I thought who else wants to go ahead. Otherwise, I will take it.
Yeah, no problem. It is today, whoever is not taken up any role. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pooja, you can tell.
Okay. So Harinji, you are lucky. This is an interesting question. Don't worry. Yeah. So the question is, if happiness was the national currency, what would your financial goals look like?
If happiness is national currency, what would be my financial goal?
Yeah. How would they look like?
If happiness is the national currency, then I would make certain changes on a national level that everyone is given some kind of a minimum payment on a monthly base, which can transform into material benefits or necessities, as we say, roti, kapda, makan, and which will give them happiness. Because happiness alone cannot be done just by, saying that I'm happy. We as humans have certain requirements, and these requirements have to be fulfilled. And if we all cooperate in that manner, and there can be new legislations, new aspirations, new thought process across the country. A lot of education has to go from the foundation to create such happiness. There is something said about Bhutan, maximum happiness and happiness index. But if you all go to Bhutan and you personally ask them, they are frankly bored about all these things, and they want to come down to the cities and look at us and say, okay, you people are much happy and you are having so much of activity. So we all feel that the grass is green on the other side. But happiness can be the national index, and we need to make a lot of changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harin, for that perspective of yours. Yes, with that, we end our table topics round. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Girish. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja, for conducting that round very well. Now we move to our third and final round. It is the evaluation round, and our general evaluator will take us through the evaluations. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nayak.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. It's the aspiration of every club to become better, and in this regard, Toastmasters has included a position of the general evaluator who helps to give suggestions in improving the club quality. And it's my privilege today to be the general evaluator for this meeting. I do have a couple of role players who are going to help me with the evaluations. But before that, may I have the timer give the timing report for the table topic speakers, please?
General Evaluator Arvind. I have noted the timings. I'm just displaying it on the screen.
Okay.
All the five speakers, 4 have qualified. Toastmaster Rahul did speak only for 40 seconds. So
All
he
right.
did not meet the criteria of 1 minute. He spoke only for 40 seconds. I have put it on the screen for everyone to see. Thank you. Over to you.
Right, thank you. Now, may I request you to give the timing guidelines for the evaluations, please?
For the general evaluation, in this session, you will allowed to speak for 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be putting on the green screen. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll be putting on the amber. And at 3 minutes, I'll be putting on the red screen, which will remain on till the speaker finishes his or her speech. The speaker must speak for a minimum of 2 minutes and not more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, timer. Like to make a little correction there. You can speak for 1 minute 30 seconds and end at 3 minutes 30 seconds. You have to speak for a minute. There's a 30 seconds grace on either side of the timing, right? All right. May I invite the first evaluator of this first speech, please? I think it's Girija.
Yes. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters and guests. It gives me great pleasure to evaluate the presentation made by Anushri. Anushri, you made a beautiful choice. There are 3 C's of life. They say choices, chances, and changes. You made a choice to take a chance and change your life so that you can fulfill your aspiration to become a great public speaker. Today, you chose a beautiful topic and a wonderful character whose life kept us riveted to the speech. The entire achievements of the person through situations which were very challenging and indeed very difficult absolutely kept us rooted to the story. You started also with a beautiful visual. You had planned very well. That was something beautiful. But what could have been better? Now you had a beautiful visual and that could have helped you connect with the audience. You could have used the visual, probably asking questions to the audience or narrating something about the visual and drawing the attention of the audience to that and then connected it. So the beginning looked abrupt. You could have made a best use of that visual. Eye contact did not happen. Actually, you were referring very often to the script and you were not looking at the audience at all. So it is very important to focus on eye contact. If it is a direct face-to-face environment, in-person evaluation, I would rather probably tell you that you would focus on one cluster of the audience, look at them until you complete one particular sentence and move on to the next cluster and so on. In this kind of environment, at least you keep looking at the camera as much as possible so that the audience feel riveted to your narration. Your storyline was so captivating that in spite of the lack of eye contact, we were looking at we were listening to you. Now, reading from the script is something that is a challenge that you have got to overcome. So challenge yourself to avoid that. The moment you avoid that, even your hand gestures become better. The hand gestures were either clasping the hands or sometimes using too much of hand expressions, which was a little of distraction. So probably we can avoid that. So all in all, it was a great attempt. Now, the challenge that you've got to look at is not refer to the script, probably refer to only some points and connect with the audience more with your eye contact and with your visual. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Girija. And now may I invite the second evaluator to evaluate the second speech, please.
Hi, this is Shripal, and I have to evaluate Gaurav's speech. And to be honest, he really started very well. Uh, Gaurav, your topic, amazing topic, a very different one. And you started with what we think and what we actually do. And it hits all of us because that's how it is. What we actually think and what we actually do are a lot of time are two different things. So you started with that line, and you went on to explain us how things happen in real life, and you well researched. You took us to the past, gave excellent examples. You brought all of us to the present, how things happen, and you also gave a solution. It was a perfect flow of information in a way, a perfect flow of storytelling, I would say. You gave examples using, great names like Clinton and Diana and Mother Teresa, and then you hit the right. I mean, you hit the nail. That most of the people. So you gave excellent statistics as well. That 90% people said, "I am the one who should go to the heaven first." So, like the spiritual leaders, they actually give you a few things. They share a few information and then they hit you at the right time and right place. So that was my observation on how the flow of the entire speech went through. There was humor, there was statistics, there was research, and a proper flow. You used your hand gestures really well. You also used the word of the day, aspiration, during your speech. Overall, you actually give a message also that how to help others. So right from start till the end, it went off really well. The only couple of observation I would say is maybe you could have used little half a minute or 1 minute more, because I felt that it got over when the speech when you took us to the peak, and suddenly it got over. Maybe there was something more, because it was going so well that I was hungry for more, and hence I felt that maybe another half a minute, 1 minute could have actually given me more information, and it would have been really better. It was really good, but it could have been even better. So that's the only information. That's the only observation I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you. And now may I invite Girija to give the evaluation of the third speech, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters. Request everybody to mute the... Yes. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Kusuma's presentation on need of the hour exactly struck a chord with everybody. People were listening with a lot of attention. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And Kusuma, you did not fail in that front. You had planned very well the speech. It was very well structured. And the topic also is a burning issue. Dynamic and at the same time value-based leadership, which is the need of the hour. You pointed it out very well with suitable examples, and also there were contemporary references to what is happening today. Without becoming a political discourse, you pointed out the essentials of the leadership, which was very beautiful. And you also took up a very challenging aspiration to capture what is dynamic leadership in a matter of just 5 to 6 minutes, and which is very tough. And you also gave a nice conclusion to it, which is clear and concise. Now, what could have been better? Reference to the script. It reduced eye contact with the audience. So if you can reduce that or minimize that and just have only a few points to refer to, then probably you will be able to look at the audience and talk. So that would be better. Second is voice modulation. Again, reference to the script limits our voice modulation because we are focused on the word that is written on the paper. When you speak from your heart, then the voice modulation becomes better. The pauses will be better because you chose such a wonderful topic. The ideas were fabulous. How to connect with children, how to imbibe that sense. Everything was so beautiful, but it was not coming as powerful only because of probably reference to the script. So if you can avoid that, that will be the only challenge that I would say, because all the rest of the things will fall through if you can do that. So definitely the dynamic tone as per the topic, the voice, enthusiasm, sometimes a higher pitch and sometimes lower pitch, that would add more dynamism to the speech in concurrence with the topic that you have chosen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Girija. And now may I invite the timer to give the timing report for the evaluations, please.
Dear General Evaluator, all the timers, general evaluators have worked out very well, and they have within the time limit. I will just share their timings on the screen just in a while. Once I prepare the report, I'll just share it off.
All right. So are we having the poll for the best?
There's no poll today.
You are not having the poll today. No. All right. Okay. So now, whilst that is being done, may I now invite the R counter to give his report.
Unmute.
Greetings, everyone. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Anushri ma'am was the first speaker of the day. She used the filler "a" 21 times, and "sorry" was used 3 times as filler. Words that were repeated were "the," "with the," "for the." The second speaker of the day was Gauran sir. He didn't use any fillers, just overly used words like "so" and "because." Kusuma ma'am didn't use any fillers and any overly used words throughout the speech. She just used the filler while handing over to someone else. Table topics. The first speaker today was Shripal sir. He used the filler 7 times and overused the word "and." Second speaker was Rahul for the table topics. He repeated the phrase "towards your" twice, and the words "I" was used as a filler at times as well. The third speaker of the day for table topics was Priya Rathore. She used the filler 2 times in her speech, and she also overused the word "and." When you use "sorry" as a filler once. The fourth speaker for the table topics was Ashok sir. The was the word overused in 2 sentences, and was also used as a filler once. The fifth speaker for today was Harin sir. He had no overused words. He just used the filler 4 times. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And now may I invite the grammarian to give the report, please.
The word of the day was aspiration. Unfortunately, only 50% of the speakers used that word, and only one of the speakers used it thrice. Over to you guys.
Thank you. And now for the general observation of the meeting. I'm sorry I came in a little late because I wasn't able to connect with the identity that was given on the thing, but nevertheless, Girija quickly gave it to me. And so I missed the opening, and I presume that it started on time. I was not able to listen to the Sergeant at Arms. I only came in when the presiding officer was speaking. All right, so the presiding officer introduced the Toastmaster of the day. And the Toastmaster of the day explained the 3 sections and he had wonderful quotes as he went along. I would love that the Toastmaster of the day does not give any reference to the speech before the speech is actually given. Because I found that you said something about sinners and you gave a speech earlier and now I'm happy that you're going to give it again. So there should be no reference at all. Let the speaker speak whatever he has to speak and only mention the title of the speech. The grammarian was then introduced. The grammarian mentioned the script or the role correctly and gave the word of the day as aspiration. Now the grammarian has the better way of saying is not a wrong usage, it will be the incorrect usage of the language. Your report did not give any good usage or incorrect usage. You are supposed to listen to all the speakers and make a note in addition to the word of the day. So the word of the day was aspiration, where you said that more than 50% of the people used the word of the day and there was one person who used it thrice. Actually, why do we have these roles of the grammarian, the counter, the timer, and everybody else who's playing the role is because in Toastmasters, one aspect of leadership is listening, to develop your listening skills. And when you give your report should show that you are listening. And that's how you improve your listening skills. By just mentioning over 50% does not give the correct thing. You have to mention the name of the person. Now also remember, when you mention the name of the person feels happy. Now the mission of the club is very supportive and positive. So you have to be supportive in mentioning the person's name and making him feel happy that he has or he or she has used the word of the day and how many times. There was also something to do with incorrect usage so that we better ourselves in the next meetings. And if there was a good usage, there were a lot of phrases that were used by Girish that could be noted and then mentioned to the audience so that we take back. If we have missed what he said, then you are the one who will give it. So the grammarian's role does not mean only talking about the number of times the word of the day was used. The counter, Dheeraj, wonderful report that you gave. However, please remember that I counted 2 arms, 1, 2, 3, and 18 ers. You have to be careful about your ers. Try to control when you begin a sentence, control yourself. There are some people who begin with there are some people who begin with so. Please try to control it. They are crutch sounds and crutch words. You have to be careful. And unless somebody brings it to your notice, and just like you are bringing it to the notice of the others, I need to bring it to your notice as well so that we all progress well and we learn and become conscious of what we are not supposed to do. The timer mentioned the timing well. Please remember, today what I heard was the timer said they were all the icebreakers. They were not icebreakers. So we have to be careful what we say because the icebreaker is only between 4 to 6 minutes. And the timing guideline was also mentioned as 4 to 6 minutes, but the agenda mentioned 5 to 7 minutes. So it's actually the level 1 project tool that was being the speeches were from that today. So we have to be careful what is being said, and always remember, the timer needs to remember that there is a minimum time beginning before 30 seconds before the green, both for the evaluation and for the prepared speeches, but not for the table topics, which was correctly said that you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of whatever plus 30 seconds. So you have to be careful on that. When I went on to the speaker view, I found that even the timer was shown there. So I do not know if the system does not permit you to be there. I would like only the timer card and the speaker to be there when I look at the speaker view, and not the timer need not be there. So can you, I don't know if you can, the technical part I'm not aware, but if you can have just the 2 people shown there, that would be better. I also liked that, would like you, the timer, to mention the time taken, or whether, see, you have to have the agenda with you. You have to tell me, or you have to tell the meeting, the house, that we are below, we are ahead, or we have lost time at every section. So I was looking at the section when we finished the prepared speeches, and we were well ahead of time. I mean, we closed before time. So there was the table topic master had time to give more topics. So that is how you use your time, so that when you are the 3 main people have to look at the timings, so that the Toastmaster of the day knows when the first section is supposed to finish. And if he takes more time, then the table topic master has to reduce the number of topics. And that's how it is. That's why we have this timing, and the timer is a very important person, because he or she controls the whole meeting, because like I said, Toastmasters lays great emphasis on time, and time management is another aspect of leadership. So we have to be careful about the timing. And I would like the timer to refrain from saying amber, because these are not traffic signals, and we have got green, yellow, and red.
Okay, thank you.
The table topic master did a wonderful job explaining what table topic is all about, and also encouraged the members to use the word of the day. I would like that the table topics, remember, the table topic is supposed to be said twice. Not once, but twice, only twice. Why? Because when you attempt a table topic, you develop 4 skills. One is listening, because you've only said it, you will only be told twice, and whatever you hear, you have to speak on that. Second, you begin to think on it, so your thinking skills. Third, you organize, because that is a mini speech, so you organize. And fourth is the delivery. So it's listening, thinking, organizing, and delivery. These are the 4 skills you would enhance when you attempt a table topic. You also need to call for the timer's report once you finish. When I was at the so I think I've spoken about all the role players, and now I would like to speak on the general thing of the meeting. I do not know, but I have a feeling that the presiding officer spoke something about the theme for today, about goals or something, because I found that the Toastmaster of the day mentioned something about the presiding officer saying something about, and so I made a note that the presiding officer should not touch upon the theme at all. It's the prerogative of only the Toastmaster of the day, because the Toastmaster of the day gives the theme for the day. Sets the
I
theme
did
for the
not speak on that. Like last time you had pointed it out. So this time I spoke on International Labor Day and the rights of the labor.
Okay, so I didn't hear.
I just mentioned
because he mentioned something about saying on the theme, and that's why I've just made a note. This is generally that only the Toastmaster of the day will speak on the theme. Nobody else touches on the theme or the word of the day, because sometimes what happens is in some meetings, in some clubs, they display the word of the day much before on the agenda itself, but that's not the actual correct practice, because you have to you have to bring the word in for already a prepared speech. So giving you the word of the day in advance would mean that you are not using your creativity to get the word of the day into your speech. So it's best not to give the word of the day in the agenda. You haven't done it, but I'm just mentioning that some clubs do that. The evaluator, the evaluator evaluates a speech and does not evaluate the speaker. So you have to be careful in saying, may we have the evaluator for the first speech and not for the first speaker. The speaker is not evaluated, the speech is evaluated. Now the first speaker, you would be opening the meeting room at least 10 minutes ahead of time before we begin. So if you have a presentation, then you know that in Zoom, unless you are given the hosting rights, you're not able to display the screen. So this has to be mentioned. Every speaker who's getting in a presentation must mention this to the Toastmaster of the day and the Zoom master, so that they are aware, and not at the time that you actually come in to deliver your speech and then start talking, can I use it, can I get it? So that disturbs the flow of the meeting. So have the technical things done much before the actual meeting begins. I would also like if you have 30 seconds after every prepared speech that the Toastmaster of the day says, let's take 30 seconds to give feedback to the speakers. So after every speech, if you get 30 seconds, and that can be built into the agenda. 30 seconds on a private chat, not on the general chat, but on a private chat to the speaker, what you felt about the speaker's speech and something about that effect. Now, what happens is everything in evaluation is feedback. So there are different types of feedback, but we leave that for another educational session on feedback, on evaluation. There were lots of disturbances, so I think the Zoom master should be adept to listen to it and then put it off, or put everybody on mute. There were a lot of mobiles that were ringing, etc.
I'm playing a double role today of Zoom master as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I was not so prompt. It took me some time to locate that.
Right, I know. Okay. So the next is to avoid sending chats when the speaker is speaking, because what happens is it's sent to everyone, unless of course you want to send it to a particular person. Send it on a private chat. Do not put it on everyone, because if you had a physical meeting, it amounts to you disturbing because you're talking. So understand in that manner and send it as a private chat. Table topic speakers, members, please remember that you need not start talking immediately. Listen to what the topic is, assimilate what it is, and then, like I said, take 10 or 12, 15 seconds to think about it. Don't go too long, because if every table topic speaker takes half a minute to think about it, means the timing is going for a toss. So you can take about 10 seconds to think about the topic and then begin to speak. Now, I found one or two speakers repeating something. The moment you open your mouth and you start talking, the timer starts the time. You lose your time. You lose those seconds. So think before you open, before you speak. We are all here as learners, and Toastmasters is a peer learning platform. So whenever I go to any corporate to give to help them with their Toastmasters meeting or to talk about Toastmasters, I always tell them to leave their designations and their egos outside before they enter the room. And once the room is closed, we are all equals. We are all in Toastmasters to learn. There is no person in this room who is an elder or a younger person. So here we are all Toastmasters and we are peers once the meeting starts. So please do not address anybody as sir or madam. It is not disrespectful. It will become very difficult for us Indians because we do respect the elders. But as far as Toastmasters is concerned, we may try not to say sir and madam, because like I said, we are all in it as peers to learn. So there is nobody who knows. And even when I come in, it's not that I'm a senior Toastmaster. Yes, I've got 13 years of experience, but that doesn't mean that I should be addressed as sir or anything. For me, even every meeting that I attend, I learn and take something from it. So I am a learner all the time. When you use vernacular language, please translate. Always remember, think of the larger picture. Here you are looking at only members who are Indians and would understand what roti kapda or makan would mean. But if you carry on with this, it becomes difficult. If you have an international audience, if it just drops off, then your message may not go across. And why are you speaking? You're speaking because your message has to get across to the audience. So please try to translate that or try to refrain from using vernacular language. Every section has a head. You have the Toastmaster of the day, you have a table topic master, and you have the general evaluator. Whenever somebody comes and wants to address the person, please, when you address, remember when you are a speaker, you say Toastmaster of the day. When you are a table topic master, you address the table topic master, not the Toastmaster of the day or the general audience. And when you are an evaluator, you will address the general evaluator, because that is the person who's heading that section. You must address the person who is heading that section. In evaluation, what happens is you will speak about your personal opinion of what you saw, heard, and felt at this point of time with regard to the project objectives. Please do not bring the opinion of the audience, because you cannot speak for the audience. You do not know the feelings of the audience. So please say, I felt, or what, I felt, or I wish you had done this. Not that the audience felt. You can't have the feelings of the audience. You are an individual. As an evaluator, speak only about your opinion. So these were a few of the things. And yes, as Girija has already mentioned, we are here to improve our public speaking skills. So please refrain from using the crutch, that is the script. The moment you start using the script, then it becomes a crutch and you will want to touch it every time you come to a speak, to deliver a speech. So we have to let go. We have to prepare ourselves. We don't by heart it. Get some points into your head. Remember those points and elaborate on that. But have the script down there if you want, so that you can just quickly refer to it rather than the audience knowing that you're reading from a script, because you're supposed to give a speech, not a reading, right? So these were a few of the things that we need to take care of at the next meeting. And yes, Toastmaster is one word. It's if any of you have noticed the agenda, it's mentioned as 2 words, but it is 1 word. The Toastmaster of the day is written as T capital, M capital, O small, and D capital. So all role players, when you come in, please put your role before your name. Like if you look at my name, I've got GE_Arvind, that's the general evaluator _Arvind. So anybody so we know that you are not playing a role, and the table topic master could call you to give and the table topic. Always remember, table people begin to admire the ceiling and their fingernails and their toenails when the table topics comes in. So the best part is even before you come, you understand when, that's why you asked to come a little early. So in a Zoom meeting, you already understand who the guests are, and you know who are not the role players. So target those people. Don't say if somebody is raising out of their own free will and coming in, fair enough. If not, do not waste time. Who will be the next speaker? No. If nobody has raised a hand, pick somebody who hasn't spoken or who's not playing a role. First you will give the opportunity to Toastmasters who are not playing a role or is not a speaker or a role player at this meeting. Then you shift to the guests, because you need the guests to turn into members. And that's why you give the chance and opportunity to the guests to speak. Make the guests comfortable. Say it's okay, whatever you feel like you speak, because you're coming here to learn, and this is a platform where we are very supportive and we will help you. So whatever you can speak, you speak. There's nobody who's going to laugh at you. So buck up the person so that you get a member. That's what you should be doing. And there's no need to write TM so-and-so or address, because we are all Toastmasters here. So in the agenda, there's no need to put it as TM so-and-so, TM so-and-so. Other than Toastmasters, nobody else is going to play the role. So in the agenda, we may refrain from this. And I think that PW, which you've mentioned, is Pathways Innovative Planning. That is the path that the person has taken. And you are doing a project from that path. So it's best to say, today it was, all you could have mentioned is innovative planning, level 1, project 2. So they were doing the second project. So that's how we know, the evaluator knows, and every member knows that this is what the project is, rather than saying, just talking about the path that the person has taken doesn't tell us much about the speech that the person is going to deliver. Okay, so these are a few of the things that we may try to better ourselves in the next meeting. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Distinguished Toastmaster Arvind, I have a question. In Toastmasters, we say that we shun politics. So is political reference, like Kusuma mentioned about some reference, contemporary political reference, is that allowed?
No, what we do is we refrain from speaking on politics, sex, politics, and religion. We refrain, we do not, because it may hurt the sentiments of some people. So that is the reason we refrain. But if you want to talk about, something to do with reproduction, that has to be something to do with sex. but that is not going to hurt anybody. If a speech is something to do with reproduction, you're going to come to some aspects of sex and then speak about it. So that is not going to hurt anybody. So that is why we say we refrain. Now, for example, if I want to air my political views, it may hurt somebody else, and then the whole meeting will get disrupted. So that's the reason why we say we refrain from talking on sex. But they don't say don't speak on it, but refrain from speaking.
So, I mean, let me to have my more understanding. Can I have a speech like my eulogy to Narendra Modi or to Uddhav Thackeray or to Arvind Kejriwal or to Yogi, whatever?
It would be best not to take names. If you want to mention something in the course of your speech, you can say, as one of the leaders, leave it. So it's open. You are not mentioning a particular leader or a party.
Okay.
So it should not hurt. What is implied is okay, but you are not taking the name of the person or the party.
Okay. Okay.
But try not to. Why get a political thing into a Toastmaster meeting for what?
Right. Right.
We are here to learn, to better ourselves as speakers, not to be politicians.
Right.
One question. You said that, when we give the pathway, level 1, project 2, should the speaker do it or should the evaluator do it?
You can either put it on the agenda, or the evaluator can say the speaker is attending level project 2 from the path and level whatever, and the time has to be mentioned. It has to be mentioned because the timer has to be told it's the project is for 5 to 7. Timer, please note the project is 5 to 7 minutes. Because he has already said 4 to 6 minutes. Now you have to make him aware that it is 5 to 7 minutes.
It put it in the agenda, so I thought we should not repeat.
No, you have to.
We have to repeat. Okay.
I think you need to continue the meeting, and after the meeting is declared closed, then we can start with the other talks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
One more question. Yeah. One more question. When the speaker is starting, like you said, no need to address everybody. So whom do the speaker will address only
the Toastmaster of the day. They can see. The thing is, why I'm trying to tell you this is because as you progress and get into a contest, you need at the meeting you say Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. So the guests also should feel that they're being included. Normally what we say is fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. So what happens, it's a little muska again for those buttering up the guests to say that we're including you, and those are all marketing things which you can do later on.
Like I think Arvind suggested we'll just close the meeting and then we can discuss with him and understand more about it, so that we'll be doing it on time.
Shall I continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, General Evaluators, for your comprehensive evaluation.
Absolutely.
We go back more informed, and perhaps we will perform better when you join us next time. So thank you all for this opportunity to be Toastmaster of the day. Friends, it is said that setting goals is the first step of turning invisibles into visible. We all had our goal to have a great meeting today. We all aspired to have a great meeting, and I think we accomplished it. Thank you so much. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. We had a wonderful evening, a very good learning experience also. The prepared speeches, the evaluators, and the table topics were very, not only motivating, it was also very enlightening. So we had a very good evening today, and the next meeting will be on 11th May, and I will soon be circulating the agenda for the day. And before we close the meeting, I would like all of us just to pray, all of us, let us pray together for this challenge of COVID, and we hope that normal times will soon come again. That's all we can do for them. So let's all pray together for them. Yeah. So with this, I'm closing the meeting for the day, and the meeting is closed. But Girija, I think you wanted to discuss something, so we can, it will be off the record.
So, one